Oh, so it's going to be a weird awkward English.
Next for a little bit. And you're good to go.
Well, hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Loot, Die, Repeat, where a bunch of us busybodies, and we have been very busy the last couple of weeks, we get together, we sit around and roll some dice, we do a lot of laughing at each other, do some collaborative storytelling known as Dungeons & Dragons. And if you have been with us at all over the past 30 plus episodes, you will immediately recognize that we have a new look. And over the past 2 weeks, we have changed our location, changed our studio, and are excited about the opportunities that we have to just kind of grow in this space. Because of the reconfiguration of things, we're also reconfiguring how we're actually streaming to you. And so we're going to test out some new different configurations, and we'd love to hear your feedback on those configurations. As with any new space, we're going to be figuring some things out, including the sound and the video and with all the different cameras. So if at any point the sound is off or the video is not coming through properly, please let us know in the chat, and we will get on that as soon as we can. Of course, if you've missed any of our past episodes and want to see our old configuration, you can go on YouTube and watch all of those episodes there. And that's YouTube, I think, loot die repeat. I can't remember.
Just search on youtube.com, search for loot die repeat, because currently, because we don't have enough subscribers, which you guys could help with, we don't have a custom URL.
Yes, so you can go on there, and we would, as Dakota just mentioned, would love for you to subscribe to that channel. That's free, of course. And certainly follow us here on Twitch. That would be a big help. And if you're feeling really kind and benevolent, could consider even subscribing to us here on Twitch with perhaps one of those monthly subscriptions people get from Amazon Prime. We have a bunch of commands. If you would like to see some of those commands for the chat, you can type in !commands, and it will show you all of the different commands you can do. And we also have the opportunity for you to participate with us here in the game by purchasing bits. And so for 100 bits, you can buy advantage for any of our players. For 500 bits, you can purchase disadvantage for the DM, which, you know, you can do that. Don't appreciate it when you do from a playing perspective, but certainly appreciate it from a helping us to fund this perspective. So we really appreciate your generosity and love to see what you would think of us to do as well, so you can tell us your thoughts in the chat as we're monitoring that at all times. All right, well, any further announcements, anything that I am forgetting?
Nope.
All right, well then without further ado, let's jump into tonight's episode of Loot, Die, and Repeat. And so we're going to begin with a little recap to bring us up to speed of where we have been and where we are going. And so our group started off in Waterdeep, coming together from disparate places and backgrounds, ultimately coalescing into a singular force known as Moniker, because they couldn't really come up with a name, and so they went with a generic name.
To be fair, we came up with many names.
They couldn't
decide.
They couldn't come up with a name that they all decided and could agree upon.
What they call us last name?
You were called some meddlers last
Meddlers,
yeah. So after dealing with some things in Waterdeep, including fighting off an attack on the city and saving some kidnapped individuals from the Xanathar Guild and the Zentarum, they traveled to Nightstone and tracked down a Periton, which had been a part of the attack on the city. They also did several quests out that way, clearing out a goblin cave, etc., etc., and ultimately made their way back to Waterdeep where they went through the Blue Alley, starting to make a greater name for themselves, being some of the only individuals who actually survived going through that death trap dungeon hidden away in the sea ward of the city. As they got out of the Blue Alley, they came upon the trail of Thorig Branross, a bard who was integral to one of their characters' backgrounds. Jax the bard, who unfortunately is no longer with us, as she has moved on to greener pastures and married life. But Jax is at their home, the Spirit Within, in the North Ward, tending to the home as the rest of Moniker goes off on their adventures. As they tracked down Thorig and ultimately slew him, Eli learned of some powers that he has as they traveled back to Waterdeep and sought to track down a doppelganger which had kidnapped one of the children that they had adopted to assist around their house and to help raise. We're really noisy around here. Just go ahead and get all the noises out right now. Go ahead. Yep. Get them all out. Get them all out. Yep. Anything else you're doing back there? Yeah. No? All right. Yep, lights are off. That's good. Yep. Okay. Okay. Get in place. I blame Vincent for everything. I think, yeah, you're going to sit there. This is what happens when you get a new space and people arrive late. We're trying to figure out where we're sitting and what we're doing.
Keep going.
Oh, over here.
Should have painted lines on the floor.
Oh, in the blue room here? Listen, everyone skips the recap anyway. It's not a problem. Jake, you are over here next to Megan. Order. Yep. Okay, very good.
That is over here next to me.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
I didn't want to break this up, but here we are.
Yeah, you know. Okay, well,
Great.
as they tracked down the doppelganger and dealt with him and ultimately learned of Eli's past and his undying present, we come to Anfield, which came under attack. The party teleported there through the use of their convergence device, the hopper within Hold's chest, and they dealt with that town, making some very difficult decisions, saving those whom they could, and sacrificing the rest, including many, many, many civilians along the way.
We can hold.
As they rescued the Lord Warder of Anfield, they returned to Waterdeep with Sydney, one of the Grey Hands of Vajra Safar, and have appeared in Blackstaff Tower in front of the Blackstaff herself, Vajra Safar. And it is here, at this moment, that we pick up tonight's episode, so long as we are all done getting into position and being situated.
I don't think we
We
are.
aren't? No, Jake just left for some reason. Okay, great. Okay. Darn your stinking coat, Jake.
What's wrong now?
You're not in your seat.
You can go without me.
Okay, Jake dies. You know, for good, eternally.
The Minotaur is at the end of the portal. We just jumped down and he swings his great axe on his head. It is really fun.
Alright, we'll let Jake,
character worked out.
we'll let Jake get into his
Yeah, I
seat.
just have to wait a couple more days.
Oh yeah, no, it's alright. Yeah, coming on.
Yeah, kill Jake. Kill Jake. Nice.
Sorry, some of us have to work.
Very good. All right. Are we good? How are we looking back there, camera-wise? Everything in line?
It is.
Okay, excellent. So, as you appeared in front of Vajra Safar, you see a woman in black with golden trimmed robes. She holds a very dark obsidian staff. Vincent, you immediately recognize this woman. And she has dark, curly black hair, dark brown skin. She looks at you with a concerned look, though at the same time a knowing. There's a knowingness to her eyes as she seems to be keenly aware of exactly what's been going on in Amphil. She looks at you all and she says, "Welcome back. You have my thanks for your assistance in Amphil, getting the Lord Warder out, and for saving Cherise and Moxie, the two important targets. My condolences hold on the loss of your mentor, Father Greg. It is a very sad thing that he has passed. He too was a noble man, of great assistance in our larger endeavors. The reverberations of this attack on Amphil will be felt quickly. I only wish I knew what they were trying to achieve and who they were that perpetrated this attack. It seems that this attack was coordinated and similar to the attack 3 months ago here in Waterdeep. Any information that you have would certainly be of great assistance in helping to unravel what is happening."
I did overhear them speaking about the event and the attack, and it seemed as if they are specifically going after Waterdeep, targeting the supply lines.
How so?
The attack on Greenest before, it wasn't a coincidence, and now Amphil.
This is connected to Greenest.
From my understanding, they're wanting to hurt Waterdeep.
I thought that the Court of the Dragon was behind the Greenest attacks. Are you saying that these two attacks on Waterdeep and Amphil are in league with the Cult of the Dragon?
At this point, I can't say no. I don't believe in coincidences with that.
Do you have any further information on these attacks? Supply lines, certainly, if Amphil is unable to continue to produce the food for the city that it has, that would be a terrible blow. We'd have to ration quickly to provide for all the people here.
Don't they say they were going after the heart of Amphil? What did they say?
The heart shard.
Heart shard. Heart shard.
Heart of Amphil. That's interesting that they would know of that.
What is that?
She looks very intently at you, at all of you, kind of taking you all in. She looks at Sydney. Have they proven themselves trustworthy? Sydney doesn't speak, she just nods her head yes. Please take the Lord Warder, show him to the keep. We will debrief him there. heart of Amphail is a relic, an artifact. How much do you know of creation, of the world, of the material plane, of all the planes? Vincent, do you know anything? You would know the basics, that Ao was the one who essentially created everything. And then as he created the lesser gods, they all did their specific part. Well, yes, that's correct.
I concur.
No one quite knows how Ao did it, or which of the lesser gods were involved, and in which chronological sequence things were done. What we do know is that throughout the planes of existence, from the prime material plane of which we are located, to the Feywild and the Shadowfell, to the ethereal plane and the astral planes which hold them all together, the elemental planes of chaos, and the nine hells, the abyss, the celestial realms, everything in between. There are small deposits of the creative energy of the gods which have been left behind to nurture and sustain their creation. These deposits are referred to by various names: shards, essences, cores, hearts, cruxes, and the like. Some deposits have been refined or divided into smaller fragments by mortals who seek their power. When harnessed, these deposits can be used to do many wondrous things. In fact, it's believed that a Gyron utilized such a deposit to create some of the wonders here in this city. Most deposits are unknown, and those who know how to control and harness them are few and far between. I tell you this because the heart of Amphail is such a deposit. It is the reason why the lands around Amphail are so lush. The deposit overflows with the creative powers of Shantea and Lathander. It has been safeguarded by the divine protection of Helm for centuries, and exists in a nexus between the planes that makes it nearly impossible to access. If they were seeking to obtain the heart of Amphail, they would have to pierce through the defenses of Helm and be able to travel within the plane of defenses. Did you see any indication of their ability to do that?
Certainly not before.
Explain.
They're the same people. They're able to open portals into other realms. So surely they're able to.
How do you know they're opening portals into other realms and not simply between the same plane?
Well, I have marked one of them before as they've gone through the portal, and I know that they aren't on this plane. I can no longer sense them, and I've actually gone to another plane or something. I'm not really quite sure, but the same substance that teleported this individual away is now running through me.
Interesting.
I pull out my scissors
Would these? Well, here they are.
Where are my scissors?
Would these be connected to traveling through the plains at all?
You see her trace some sigils in the air. She reaches out and touches it. It's back. There is a trace of magic that would deal with planar teleportation, but this does not seem to be a permanent sort of it. Did you get this from them?
No, I got this from the Blue Owl.
Interesting.
The leader, he also did mention that Helm's power could no longer hold them from what they wanted, being the hot child.
What did the leader? He said this. Who was the leader? What did he look like?
Well, he was speaking abyssal. I believe he was a minotaur.
Are you the only one who understands abyssal?
Am I?
Yep.
Anyone get a view of the guy riding the dragon? Don't think that was the leader.
Well, he did. The one leading the army there, he mentioned Dralic, and he would burn the fields of Amphel to starve Waterdeep.
Right.
I know of
Who
this
was that?
Dralic. I know who he was, or is. I ran into him when I was a younger child. And I can tell you that he is not a very kind man. He is the reason I have this scar on my face today. And
I didn't even know he had a scar.
well, if you would have listened the first day we were here, you would have known that. That was all right. And anyway, I even know his last name, if I can ever find it in my notes again. Oh yes, his name is Dralak Nevermore, and he was from Neverwinter. But that is about the extent of what I know of him. All I can tell you is for many years I wanted to kill that bastard.
What kind of beings are able to travel across plains?
Well, beings who know how to manipulate the magical weave around us.
Do you know of any strong enough to defeat Helm and strong enough to manipulate? You're up
No one
pretty high.
Helm.
Well,
Well, apparently they have.
Helm is a divine. There are other divines who vie against him.
Could a fallen divine still have power?
Are these divine? Is this a divine battle? Is that what you're trying to figure out?
I do not know. But if they
Helm
had,
can't stop them. No mortal could have stopped Helm, so some divine must be helping them.
for them to know of the heart of Amphel, well, they must have very powerful allies. As you now have powerful allies. For I do not share the secrets of Amphel lightly. Consider it a move of trust on my behalf towards you. You see, I have been watching you. I've been watching Vincent for a very long time.
Okay, Milton.
Was there a reason that you spoke directly to me?
seems to be the most level-headed at the moment.
I was fine.
Yeah.
But you don't remember, do you?
14 plus 150.
How is Farrick and your brother?
You know, my uncle and my brother's home.
Hmm. Okay.
How do you know of them?
We'll speak of this another time. There are more pressing matters at hand. But clearly you don't remember. Or maybe you were kept from knowing.
Have you seen my uncle lately?
No, he disappeared.
My brother. What of him?
What of him? Is he well?
No, the last time he was dead.
He was dead or is dead?
There's a distinction now.
There is a
Well,
distinction.
I'm a little confused.
Wait,
Can you tell us more about Derek? We heard he disappeared in the north. Old north.
Farrick is a diviner. He was a friend of Master Name, part of the Circle of Sabris.
Apparently he was also a friend of Kylier.
Kylier. Kylier is a bit of a roguish wizard.
So we've heard.
Kylier and Nain have a history. I don't know of Kylier's involvement with Farrick, however. Be that as it may, I chose you because you were the right one to choose at the time. I seek to reward you for your assistance and to make you an offer. First, the offer. I wish to invite you to be considered to join my Greyhands. Think of them as a sort of special detachment Blackstaff, like Sydney, although she's a little more advanced than a mere Greyhand. If you're interested, I would invite you to investigate a disturbance in Waterdeep Harbor. You don't need to let me know now. Think about it, talk amongst yourselves as you go back to your home. But I would also like to reward you. Extra Joe. I would give you the option of one of two rewards each of you may choose. First is simply payment in gold. I would offer you each 500 gold apiece. Alternatively, I would offer you a title known as Friend of the Blackstaff. As a friend of the Blackstaff, you would receive favor throughout the city and increased charismatic defenses through the item I would give you. And she holds out her hand, and she has in her hand several little what look like lapel pins. They're may look like onyx or obsidian, matching her staff. And they have a silver crest of Waterdeep, kind of emblazoned in it, with a stylized version of the black staff itself, kind of dashed across it. You could have one of these, or you can have the gold. It is your choice. I certainly consider you all friends, although whoever wears the pin would be displaying the title to all those who would see it in the city. Choice is yours.
Question. Was that a part of the Grey Hands and either a 500 gold reward or the pin?
The offer to be considered for the Grey Hands is separate and apart from your reward.
Okay,
The reward is for your assistance in Ampale.
understood. So the Grey Hands,
We failed them.
yeah, we did. We let hundreds of innocents get slaughtered by Hackle.
Most of the city.
Yeah.
Well, it remains to be seen, the damage report. We will secure that when the smoke clears. They are still... They've driven off the dragon. And you see her pause and she closes her eyes. The god is putting out the fires. It seems that the elementals have subsided and the minotaurs have fled. Who did you fight at the greenhouse? What did you fight there? I could see only through a center on Rygar as I scried him, but I did not have a clear view of the whole battlefield.
Imala?
And a fire creature. And Imaleth was summoned.
Fire demon.
Fire demon. Was summoned by the caster who we've met before.
The leader I spoke of before.
And he was killed or he escaped?
He escaped.
He escaped through a portal.
The second time he's done that.
And the dragon, it's a black dragon,
Yes.
and he was driven off by those in the keep
Yes.
as you fled there.
The ballistas, I think, made purchase.
You spoke of another? Someone who gave orders to Dralek and the Minotaur?
No orders to Drele. But the one on the roof who escaped through the portal, he was commanding the ones on the ground.
How did they bring down the shield around the greenhouse?
Did we see that?
Yes, it was in the sky, and then he looked. He just disappeared again, like we saw previously in Waterdeep.
That's true. The one with the robe.
With the robe, yes.
But the shield, how did that come down?
He discharged some of his energy and brought down the shield.
You could visually see that he was a white. It drained afterwards, but then he vanished
And he
into
disappeared.
a portal.
Well, that explains it then.
Do you know who that man is?
No, but he clearly has power to rival that of Helm,
So this shield, is
or
it
at least a chosen of Helm. The shield was powered by Helm.
Oh,
And
wow.
is that what they meant by Helm's protection?
It must have been. Well, I shall have to investigate that further. Rygar, the pin is yours. What of the rest of you?
I will also take the pin as well.
Right, Sola,
Consider me a friend of Pin.
you are a friend.
But there's only one pin.
There are 8 pins.
Okay.
I'll take the pin.
Oh, yes.
Does not make up for anything.
I will speak for my friend Morthos over here, with most likely the gold.
I'm undecided.
I'll take the pin.
That's character
Pin.
development.
It is.
I'll take the pin too.
Pin, yes.
Only because it depends on what type of favor
Vincent.
that pin could get me.
I've always wanted to be part of Blackstaff. It'd be an honor.
You are well on your way, son.
I will take the pin as well.
Whoa. Growth.
Yes.
I have
Eli,
a question about this gray hand business. Well, you're saying we already are.
no, you have been invited to try out.
Okay, so is that where we do some of the deeds you don't want to muddy your hands with? I've been in organizations like that.
As the Archmage of the city, it is my sworn duty to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
I serve under Laurel. You all know who she is, yes?
Mm-hmm.
She is the open lord of the city. And I dare say is a magical force to rival even myself. However, there are things and interests outside of the city which I cannot get to or reach of my own. And therefore, the Grey Hands are the hands of the Blackstaff.
Alright, I'll take the pin.
Very good. So you all receive the black badge, as it's called. And what that does for you is, so long as it is displayed on your person, it provides +2 to all charisma-based skills while you are within the city of Waterdeep. Outside the city of Waterdeep, it does not add any bonus to your skill checks. It also gives you a 10% discount on all goods and services within the city of Waterdeep. There will be certain mages outside of Waterdeep and other connected people who will recognize it, but it won't have the same effect generally. Finally, if you choose to attune to it, which you don't have to do to get the other benefits within the city, but if you choose to attune to it, you get a +1 to charisma saving throws. Okay? And that counts as your neck slot for purposes of magical items. Okay?
You have a necklace?
Well, you just can't
Wait,
attune.
can't we? Don't we have a necklace on?
No, I have a necklace on.
No, we all have the hoppers.
Yeah, those are, they don't require, well, for the purposes of the game, they're innocuous to the attunement rules.
Does my necklace require attunement?
Not yet.
Ooh! Foreshadowing.
Well, as friends of the Blackstaff, you carry my reputation with you. I don't take that lightly, and I will be candid with you. And perhaps you would have liked to have known this before accepting the pin. I will know where you are at all times. I will not see you but I will know. Or rather, I will have means to know where you are at all times. So long as you stay on this plane of existence.
So you've been watching us already,
I have been scrying on some of you.
specifically this one.
I have known Vincent since he was a very young boy. And, frankly, when I was a younger woman.
What are your thoughts on our current relationships in Waterdeep?
Are you referring to your dalliance with the Blackwoods?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
The Blackwoods are influential people here.
Which is why we have gotten into relationship with them.
Yes. Exercise wisdom and discernment. I trust you all will do what is right for the city, above all else. There are times when choices must be made, which is why the hands of the black staff are known as the grey hands. There are times when matters are grey and not black and white.
Isn't there
Reminds me of something.
good and evil? Right choice, wrong choice? For the best of all people.
Yes,
We're the
but who
in-between.
defines what is good and who defines what is evil?
That is something that I am seeking out myself.
And you
An
will
answer
see
to that question.
that in the definition of those things, to one, what is good may be evil to another. And so discernment and wisdom must be exercised.
Tyr told me the same thing, pretty much.
And he is the God of justice, and if he speaks to you, I would listen to him. Do you care to hear more of the disturbance in the harbor?
I would like to, yes.
The harbor?
Maybe for another time. I don't know how long we'll be in Waterdeep.
We have not even spent a moment after this battle
The
to
harbor is right here. Okay.
recover.
I would certainly not expect you to go post haste, but once you have rested, recovered, done whatever business you're going to do, would certainly appreciate you investigating. As you know, we have a problem in the Dark Ward already between the Xanathar Guild and the Zentarum. That has taxed our resources. But what we cannot do very easily is travel beneath the waves. There has been something that has been stirring and frightening the ships of commerce in and out of the city. And now, especially with Amphail being attacked, we cannot have further disturbances to the supply of goods and resources into the city. So I would appreciate if you would travel beneath the waves. I expect you in particular, Melcine, would be able to do this. Vincent, do you know how to breathe underwater yet?
No.
Who needs to breathe?
That's true.
The rest of us.
Well, I could assist you with that if this is something you would care to do.
Of course.
She summons what appears to be a scroll, and she hands it to you. It's a scroll of water breathing. Use that, or learn that, perhaps more appropriately, so you can reuse it more often. And please investigate the area around Barrier Island. Things have been going on there. I would appreciate your assistance. Deal with it, whatever needs to be done to keep the commerce flowing, well, for the good of the city.
Of course.
Any further questions?
We might be the target of certain individuals. The doppelganger?
That's right. We did learn about a doppelganger assassin league.
Go on.
We got fooled. And we got double-crossed. We were able to kill one of them, but one of them got away. And through conversation, we've learned that there's a league of doppelgangers that infiltrate everywhere. And we learned their means of how they do these things as well. Pretty insidious stuff. Almost don't even know how we would know unless we get lucky.
Well, frankly, this seems like your issue right now. I can assist with it when it becomes necessary, but continue to grow. You're alive. You're here. Seek the knowledge of true sight that will assist you. I do not have that with me at the moment.
Well, just be mindful. We don't know who they could be.
We have plenty of wards in place to guard against shapeshifters and the like in the most important places, but throughout the city they certainly could infiltrate. Any further questions or comments?
How do we, is it easy to get back to you if we needed to talk? If you'd see us?
Of course. Turn to my tower.
Okay.
And I will of course be checking in from time to time. If you hear my voice, don't be startled. Simply respond, and I will hear it.
Mentally or verbally?
Usually mentally.
Okay.
If it's verbally, that means we're speaking face to face.
I like you. Funny.
And if we're interested in trying to become greyhounds, what would that entail?
Accomplish the tasks that I give you. And you can be sure that the benefits of being a greyhound are worth it.
If we do become a greyhound, must we stay in Waterdeep?
No, I have agents all over the Sword Coast. In fact, you've met one of them, or rather, watched one perish.
Oops.
Yes, he took an unfortunate spill in the yawning portal as you fought that undead beholder. Be that as it may, let me know what you wish to do. I will send you a report of Amphail once I have it. I know it is important, in particular. And actually, as I think of it, Paul,
Yes.
did Father Greg ever mention Teslinstein to you?
Teslinstein?
Yes.
It's a good question. I don't think so. Not that I recall.
Teslinstein was a tinkering master one of the apprentices of the legendary artificer Qualish. He tutored Father Greg, and Father Greg was the only link that we had to him. I was hoping he may have mentioned it to you. It is Teslenstein's knowledge that would have been used to put you back together.
Where do we find Teslenstein?
I don't know.
Did you say back together?
I did.
Aren't you only 3 years old?
Hmm?
How would you be in the time that I have known you if not exploded? Close, but
No, I was put back together.
He's clearly older than 3 years old.
clearly.
I don't know what was before that, but I was defeated.
Did you fall off a
Somehow.
wall?
Did you have a great fall?
You can have that conversation amongst yourselves. Anything else from me?
What was the name of the legendary artificer? I didn't get that.
Tesla stuff.
No.
Qualish.
That won't push.
Kwalish.
Ooh, did not. I was going Q.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
I
too.
went Q. Another Q. Another Q.
Batman
Q.
Well, I'll take my leave of you then. Until next time. She traces a sigil in the air and disappears. And as she does so, a door opens behind you, and Vincent kind of shows you out into the front door. And you make your way back to the Spirit Within. It's about 10 o'clock at night. Any conversation you wish to have amongst yourselves?
He left.
I'll be back.
That was not expected. At least on my part.
I don't know if I've ever seen so much death.
I have.
I think as a Grey Hand, we can make a very large impact.
That's what they want you to think.
Can we not make more of an impact as a group than we can as just
In my experience, they sometimes sell you a bill of goods.
She seemed quite trustworthy, however.
Based off of what?
These are not thieves. These are wizards. Magic users.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can back up what they say.
Do you trust Sydney? That's a magic user. Your pause already answered that question.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should think once in a while before acting.
I would agree.
And frankly, this last encounter has made me think twice about where our group is going and what we're doing. Are we making a difference? Or are we just throwing ourselves at every danger and enemy that shows their face? I don't know.
I think we have thwarted that enemy from making progress that otherwise would have pushed further.
But at what cost?
At this point, Cherise, who has been with you the whole time,
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, sure.
she speaks up and she says, Vincent, I completely understand what you're saying. Let me assure you, I would be dead if it weren't for you. You are making a difference. Do not lose heart. Do not lose heart.
Couldn't we make more of a difference,
We
though?
could have saved hundreds instead of trying to save one that we failed at anyway.
I agree. We just let innocent people get slaughtered all at once.
I'm confused. We weren't like standing above a map of some video game and had to decide between one or the other. We were in the heat of battle making decisions.
Sure.
So stop being crybabies. It was my father who died!
Your father was the...
I'm okay with it. That guy right there just let 200 people get slaughtered by Hackle. Knowing we can't split, Hackle would have killed us. It had to be all or nothing.
Hold,
Nice storm off, though.
Hold, I had no idea that was your father. But nonetheless, that's my point exactly. You were just rampaging through the town. It seemed like you were aimlessly just...
Who, me?
Yes, you. Your Hold.
We were running towards where we thought we had to go.
Didn't seem like it to me. To me, it just seemed like we were just running at the next obstacle. I didn't hear you say, "That's my father." I didn't hear you say anything except screaming. I understand that was your home, but we need to control ourselves.
Interesting.
We have to figure out what we want to be. What are we?
The Breakfast Club.
Yes.
All I know is I'm tired.
Me too. I am exhausted.
I assumed we're walking towards our home.
Yeah, you've arrived at your home.
I'd rather be a part of whatever her name was than in the league with ourselves, making deals with the Blackwoods, and then fighting for good and then fighting for evil. I feel like we need to choose a side.
Isn't that what the Grey Hands are? Literally fighting in both directions.
How can we choose a side when justice is either, it doesn't always have to be black or white?
I feel like I'm being led to a greater picture.
Yeah.
If
Like
we,
the Mona Lisa?
in a way, the farther you stand back, the more different it looks.
There's always that
I
wry
agree
smile.
with Sola. I'd rather be associated with her than with the Blackwoods.
Or associated with the Blackwoods, but only flippantly associated. We do 3 jobs for them and then 1 job for her. But we're fighting against ourselves, are we not?
I do think we need to be careful who we align ourselves with. But I'm not sure where that is.
What time is it?
About 10 o'clock at night.
This is not the time.
Let's go to bed.
We're not going to get anywhere.
We're all a little banged up. We're all a little tired. Some of us are grieving. Let's hit this fresh tomorrow.
More than just grieving.
Angrily grieving.
Well, good night, everybody.
Landra, keeping it real.
All right, so you all go to bed?
I'll go to Hold. If you'd like to, I'd be happy to hear stories of your father. I don't know my parents, but I can understand how you feel.
Well, I'm gonna have to move on from all of you calling me a traitor of my hometown. But after
I
that,
don't think
I
anyone
don't
said
think
that.
that's
I don't
what
think anyone
was
said
implied
that.
at all.
well, pretty much, you just said I caused the death of 200 people.
You made
So-
a decision that did have a effect of 100 to 200 people being slaughtered.
Precisely why we're not talking about this evening. We shall talk another time.
Very well.
I'm gonna drink.
I'll join you.
Okay.
Big glass of milk.
All right, is anyone doing anything else other than going to bed?
Showering. Do we have
As
showers
I
in the
walk
house?
off, I say, it's not like anyone else spoke up to try and help me make a decision. And then go to bed.
Okay. So Holt gets in the last word,
Sure.
and you all wake up the next day. and everyone's night was very restful, and you
That's good.
leveled up. Those of you who leveled up, so welcome to level 5. For those of you who leveled up. There was one notable exception through the night, and that was with you, Melcy. As sleep took you, you found yourself drifting to a familiar shore. Not the Feywild, which is some of the previous dreams that you've had. It's to the shore of your home, where you grew up. On the small little fishing island that was there, with the homes on stilts into the sea, with the small fishing boats around. There were no people there. It was a dream where you were just walking around, observing, seeing, reminiscing. Go ahead and open the bag.
Roll for stealth.
What are you talking about?
This one doesn't have a cut line.
Perception check.
You might as well just do it.
This is
As you
You can't open that one?
As
There's no
you
cut
make
line.
your way through the town, you come to the shore. You feel the familiar grit of the sand on your feet. The lapping of the waves is very soothing to you. And all at once, you are aware of another person present with you on the shore. And you turn behind you and you see the figure of a man. A man that stands about 4 feet taller than you. He's got stark blue skin, dark jet black hair, and he has hands that are webbed as if fish-like, and fins that kind of come off of his elbows and off of the back of his heels. And you immediately know and recognize that this is the same figure that you've seen in your dreams. But you see with a clarity now that you haven't had before, as he is standing there dripping with water, just smiling at you. And he looks at you, and for the first time, instead of having a mental word from him, he speaks.
Ooh.
He says, "Ah, my daughter, I am so thankful that you have come this far. How are you?"
I'm good, I suppose. I found a group of people, but I miss my home.
Ah, yes. It is why we are here.
I feel like I'm always on the run.
Yes, I understand.
Where are you? What are?
Oh, you saw my home. Briefly. Quickly. Do you know of what I speak?
No.
I saw you
You did?
looking through a window into my plane, the elemental plane of water.
Why are you not here? I don't understand.
I am with you through the tear.
My necklace.
Yes. The tear. The Vaivan Ram.
I don't know how to use it.
Yes, I understand. It is a powerful artifact.
How do I learn?
Must practice. You must tap into your potentiality.
Potential.
I can try.
Oh.
What? How will this affect the people that I'm with as well?
I do not know. It may. You have tried to use it.
Mm-hmm.
You have caused reverberations in my plane with it. But it is all water all around, so it wasn't too big of a problem. But if used incorrectly here, and he points to your town, to this material plane in your dream, said it could have terrible ramifications. Or brilliant benefits.
Okay. So I need to practice.
Yes.
What happened here in my home?
I do not know. This is your dream.
And my mother. What happened to her?
I wish I knew. She swept me off my feet. We conceived you. And she left me in my home. I gave her the tear. And then I fled as I was deposed.
But why?
The sun is rising. He points as the rays streak across the glistening water. We will talk more. Again, my love to you. And he walks into the waves and disappears beneath the surf. And you awake. So you are all spry and healthy the next day. I just want to go around. I want you to tell me what you desire to do. If you're going to have any further conversations or one-on-one conversations or group conversations, let me know that you'd like to do that, and then we'll kind of go through things. And we'll kind of try to jump around so that we keep things flowing evenly between you all. Okay? So, Morthos, what is on your agenda?
I want to go to the library.
Okay. By library, you mean the Font of Knowledge?
Font of Knowledge, correct.
Okay. Sola?
Conversation with Melcine, the Greyhound conversation with everybody. library for a certain amount of time and then time in a temple.
We're getting a dog, another one?
Oh,
Yes.
No,
I
there's
was
already a
thinking-
bus coming.
I thought it was a bus.
Nah, you know, it was great. They're fast dogs.
I want to whip it.
Gray hands.
Greyhounds are more fun.
It's true.
Okay. Vincent.
I need to learn these spells.
Okay.
The water breathing, mind spike, and hopefully the
And levitate. You had a levitate scroll as well from
You used
Cherise.
Yeah, did I use that?
Yeah, in the battle.
Oh, did you use it?
Oh, yeah.
Si, senor.
Okay, so then that's you do not
Unless
have that.
I spend money.
Okay.
I need to earn money too.
All right. Hold.
I'm gonna talk to Cherise.
Talk to
A
Cherise.
lot.
Yeah, she stayed at the Spirit Within last night, which, by
Oh,
the
first
way,
guest.
yeah, is continuing as you awake to the sound of hammers and construction around you, as the roof is continuing to be worked upon. So, speaking to Cherise,
Freaking
I need to go to
contractors.
the temple. Here,
so the Hall of Justice.
in Hall of Justice, and talk to. Also,
Marrying one.
I was gonna swing by the order, the gauntlet.
Order of the Gauntlet. Okay. Melandra.
I didn't bring my notes with me, but I want to go back to the park. See if I can learn.
So
Something
you
new.
want to go back to. Let me see my notes here. The shrines of nature.
Yeah, maybe I can find out some more information about what's his name was talking about with a great disturbance in the harbor.
Okay. Rygar,
I'd like to hunt. Leave the city and go hunt.
just go hunt, kind of clear your mind and spend
Yeah.
some time.
Too much time in the city.
Okay. Eli,
I think I would like to join him with Zeus. Maybe teach Zeus some stuff.
okay, so Zeus will go with you. And I assume you two are going to be part of the Grey Hand conversation.
Yeah.
So we'll do that first.
If there's more time, I'd probably do something with the Howler blood too.
Okay, there wouldn't be more time, at least for, we're just talking about this day.
Okay.
Yeah. And Melsine?
I don't know. I would like to go to Nye to see if I could become proficient.
Continuing to work on your proficiency
Healing.
with the healing kit.
Yeah, and what I would need to do or to, I don't know, get a new one or
Okay,
something like
to you don't buy a new kit,
Right,
you just buy
you
new
buy
supplies
these
for it.
supplies.
Yep. Okay, very good. So you wake up and Sola is intentional about gathering you all together to discuss the proposition about the Grey Hands from Vajra.
Now that we have rested and I think some emotions are calmer, we need to discuss about these Grey Hands. I vote we join.
I agree.
I don't think it's up to us.
I vote we do a trial to join.
The trial is figuring out what's going on in the Great Harbor.
Correct.
If you agree, Vincent, then you agree that we should keep on our path. And perhaps we should do it a little differently, but the path we're on is the path that got us noticed by the Greyhounds in the first place.
Well, she already knows.
That is an interesting
so-
point.
But she did say
I
she
think
scried
has a
others.
crush on you. Let's be honest.
On Milkman?
Hey,
Paperboy.
I mean,
I think she sees potential.
I'm always have a little bit of trepidation when someone in their ivory tower is imploring others to do some of the things they would rather not. I've been in those situations. They chew you up and spit you out sometimes.
Isn't that what you agreed with the Blackwoods? That is exactly what they're doing.
I didn't agree to anything. I was dead.
True.
I was on random mountains somewhere.
I was intrigued with that conversation, so I was gonna go find out more. Maybe possibly my mother will see it fit to get back to me on that.
Your mother?
Yeah, we'll see.
Who's your mother?
Remember when I went to that park with Melsine? I
No.
got swallowed.
I
Oh,
don't
right. We
believe
never
I was
talked about
there.
that conversation. Yeah, I have
No.
to tell you about that.
Okay. I mean,
Who
way
swallowed you?
to, way to
Are
bury
you
the
okay?
lead
It
there.
was.
Are you alright?
Were you spit out by a whale? What happened?
It was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Coming
Yeah.
from you?
Yes.
Wow. What the hell happened?
But yeah, so I'll find out more.
Oh.
Wait,
That's
what the
all.
What happened?
We were given these, and I show everybody
Yeah.
my golden acorn.
I mean,
Okay.
as we're all
Golden
kind of like going in different
That's right.
directions, I assumed we'll get together maybe later and we'll tell you about that adventure that we had. Since we're all doing kind of like different things.
I
this
guess
morning.
that was only a couple days ago.
Yeah.
We did zap Damfell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Things got quite
It's
busy.
like yesterday.
I'm not poo-pooing the idea of the Grey Hands. It's just I've been on both sides of that coin before, and I've seen what people in leadership do in that position, and I've also been the one being sent out.
I understand you have been
You're unique.
through a
though.
lot.
I'm not that unique.
But what
I would
happens
say
if
you
we
are.
do this trial, find out more information, and then decide after?
It's not really a trial. We either figure it out and kill the thing, I'm assuming it's a thing,
I would assume
or
so
we
too.
die.
What did they say? We have to kill anything?
No.
No.
I assume it's something, though. Perhaps a
There's-
sea beast.
There's something underwater potentially disrupting commerce.
Yeah, I'm with you, Eli. I think we should find out before we.
Let's
do that
gather some
trial.
information. I really don't want to call it a trial because we either live or die.
Yeah. Mhm.
All
I
I'm
like
saying,
the idea of doing what we can for the city. But
I'm
I'm
not
always,
loyal to the city. I'm loyal to the people inside the city.
of course, that's what I
people
intend.
make up the city, though.
Ooh.
But sometimes what's best for a
Ooh.
city isn't best for the people. For example,
Agreed.
when we were sent out, what was best for the city was saving those 3 people. It was not best for the innocents that were slaughtered.
But those 3
and
people
killed.
were part of the city.
Ooh.
They
You both
are.
make valid points.
However, 3 people versus the
Sometimes
lives
not
of
black or white.
hundreds. What's best for the city? Those 3 people.
See,
What's best for the people?
It might depend on who those people are.
It depends.
So you're
That
saying
is
the
true.
life of one is equal to the life of 100.
Here's the thing,
Sometimes.
Eli.
Ooh.
Part of my mission in coming to Waterdeep was kind of like to investigate all these like unnatural things that have been happening. So I know you don't want to get involved, but I think with it being part of my mission, we're gonna have to get involved at some point.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
let's
I'll
railroad that.
investigate it more and let you know.
I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying we open it with eyes wide. We step in with
agree.
eyes
Yes,
I
open.
agree.
I agree.
I approve of your caution.
Understand that we will be used, just like we were at the Blackwoods.
Yes.
We will.
I'm wholeheartedly for joining the Grey Hands. The Black Staff gave me all the opportunities to become what I am now,
Which is what?
apprentice wizard,
Okay.
as opposed to a slave.
Ooh, story development. Go on.
Yes. As far as I can remember, I didn't have parents, and I was sold to the Black Staff, and I was basically just like a little messenger, doing whatever I could to get by, and then they saw that I had abilities or interests and curiosities in what they were doing. They gave me the opportunity to train with Master Name. And Master Name was gracious enough to take me in. You see how, let's be honest, old he is. But his faculties are still with him.
It's pretty surprising, actually.
So he didn't have to take me in. None of them had to give me what I have now. But they saw that I could maybe make a difference or develop into something that can be more than what I was. So I have no doubt in what they're doing. Said it's for the whatever's best for the city. So I don't think they're out for themselves.
We could argue that point some other time.
I mean, my hand is pretty much gray already, so
You're in.
okay,
High five.
let's do it.
Let's do an observation.
Have a color scheme change myself. Melsine, I did have one question for you. When we were in one of the battles, somebody was very intent after your necklace. And now learning what we learned about the heart of Amfeld, is there a possibility your necklace is one of the deposits?
I don't know enough about I had a dream, and I relay the dream, and I know I need to practice, but I don't know necessarily what that means or what that looks like,
How to do it?
or the value of
Your
the
father
necklace.
was a fishman?
Why did your father have
So
an Italian
confused.
accent?
Yeah, where's your accent?
What's Italy?
It's me, your father.
I don't know, and I think we can all learn together, but I don't necessarily understand. I had been learning when I was in my home, but I don't really know the power that it holds.
It does sound like it has a possibility of being one of those deposits.
Wait, what does Cherise do?
I don't know, you can ask her, she's right there.
She actually isn't there. She's
Oh.
stayed in her room to give you privacy.
Didn't Cherise... Do I know this?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
She finds magical items.
Yeah, that's what she does.
And she knows about them.
Yeah, she does.
Why have we never asked her about that?
Because
Well,
we were
we're
just
in
in
battle.
battle.
No,
That's true.
I get that.
Good point.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Why don't we ask her
I
about
think
that?
we should call her.
I have a lot of things we need to ask her, yeah.
Let's ask if she'd be.
Someone going to get Cherise?
So, I take out Gundrik's stuff and put it on the table, and I say, I gotta ask her about these. You gotta ask her about your family, right?
Do I know he has that?
He hasn't told anyone about that.
I think only
Do I recognize it?
Rygar knows.
I thought you said it last
Oh,
time.
maybe I
you
did.
wanted to go to
I mean, I do
doesn't.
have to talk to her.
Well,
So
anyway.
you, as you take those out, you all see for the first time that Hold has a sundered gauntlet. It looks split in two, and a sundered helm, also split in two. And this is what he says. I need to ask her about those. You do recognize them.
Where'd you get those?
Tiny Tim and
Oh,
can't remember his name.
it's in Nightstone.
Yeah,
Leo.
What's his name? Leo and Nightstone.
Yeah.
Tiny
Three-letter names. That halfling leader, Tim. Leo gave them to me after Tyr told me that I was on a quest. Or it may have been the other way around. Either way, Tyr told me that I must head to Gundrik's mother, tell her that he passed valiantly in the line of duty with honor. Then I must repair this equipment.
How did Leo get those?
They were obtained by someone who survived the encounter and given to someone because that's why. I don't know.
So you
Stop
don't
asking
know.
questions.
Yeah, I do know. I
Okay.
do know. There were survivors in whatever battle took place. This was brought back. I
Okay.
I didn't write a book on it. Got a few words.
Take
Gundrick, armor, repair, mother. That's what I wrote.
It's hard sometimes.
Tin was a good man. Take care of that.
Who?
Gundrick.
Tin.
That's what I called him.
Oh, you knew Gundrick.
A little bit.
Holy moly.
How'd you know Gundrick?
Small world.
Many lives.
That's true.
Would I recognize anything about the gauntlet or the helmet?
Roll a investigation check.
I'll just use a portent.
Okay. Did you roll them for the day?
Yeah, I did. They're both 11s. Oddly enough. It's gonna be 18.
Okay. So as you look at the gauntlet, you see that it has a stylized etching of scales on the top of the wrist. It is a gauntlet for the right hand, except it's split directly down the center. And so you would recognize that this is the gauntlet of a paladin or a warrior of Tyr. The helm, as you look at that and you turn it over, you actually find that there's a part of it that's encrusted with a sort of carbon, charcoal, fire kind of scoring, for lack of a better term. And you brush it away and you find a gem, a purple gem, embedded to it that seems to have been fused to it, and something that you didn't see before, but it is fused directly to the helm. And you get the sense that with someone who has the right skills and arcane persuasion, you may be able to remove it if you cared to. But the helm is itself sundered and again has stylized etchings of a warrior with a missing right hand and a sword and a hammer that are kind of crossed, scales, different motifs of Tyr.
Okay, I would recognize that.
Yep, so you would recognize that, and this was clearly armor belonging to a paladin or some sort of warrior of Tyr.
Oh, do you realize what you have here?
I never tried to wipe that away. That's beautiful.
These are pieces of armor belonging to a warrior of Tyr. Someone
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, Tyr said that he was on duty from him. He was a paladin, yes?
Yeah.
Well, I am here to ask Charisse if she knows where I can get this forged, because apparently no blacksmith around knows what the heck they're doing.
Are you not a blacksmith yourself?
Not by trade.
Does someone go and get Charisse? Who goes?
I'll go.
Okay.
Were you gonna yell?
I was just gonna yell.
Charisse!
Come here,
So you go to get Charisse, and as you reach for the door, it swings open, and she's standing there. Been waiting for you. Came right on time. Let's go and have that chat. She kind of walks down, pitter patter of feet, kind of spry and chipper as she goes, and she sees you all.
Before we even get down, I would like to ask her.
Absolutely.
Cherie's master name told me to see you about my sister.
Yep. Absolutely. Do you want to talk about this privately or with your group?
Honestly, I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little caught off guard that I even have a sister. whether I want to even meet her. But it all depends on what you tell me. So
It's important that you find her.
important for her or for me?
Yes. Yep. Both of you. Both of you. And others.
Others in this party?
Others in this world.
My parents?
No. I don't know. I have no idea who your parents are. That was by design.
What was by design?
But I don't know who your parents are.
Okay. Well, how do I find out about her? Who do I see?
Well, you got to see Moxie.
Moxie.
Moxie. You saved her, right?
In Ampvale?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if she's still okay?
Yep. She's good.
All right.
You brought her to the keep.
Understood.
Safest place in the city. Yep.
Back to Ampvale.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, isn't it?
Hold. All right.
He's gonna punch you.
It'll do
He's
no
not
damage.
there. That's why I did it.
So, you make your way with Cherise back to the rest of the group. Hello, good morning. How are you all feeling? Feeling good?
Cherise, it's good to see you again outside of battle.
Yep.
You,
How are you doing? And there's a bit of a sadness that comes over her.
poorly. But we have missions. And, we need your help.
I know.
You know.
I do.
Oh,
That's why I'm here.
please explain. Reveal all you know. So I don't have to ask anything.
And
Where would you like me to start?
Well, I haven't been around. Oh, I sent you a. Oh, yeah, that. Okay. Now I know how you do this. I've been around for the past few months. Was Father Greg okay?
He was distracted. But
Or what?
fine.
Distracted.
Yes, his mind was elsewhere.
Was Abby doing okay?
Yeah, Abby was fine.
Okay. Do you know what happened to the defenses? Helm's defenses?
Well, something powerful would have had to have directly interacted with the shield around the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And I think you all know what that was.
The dragon?
No, more powerful than a dragon. Well, at least most dragons.
let's pretend we don't know what that was.
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know, you saw it. Something would have attacked the shield, drawn it down, dissipated it.
It was that guy.
Yeah, I didn't know the means with which. I thought she might have known.
It was the guy. Oh, mine was a statement and a question at the same
Divine
time.
power can only be offset by equally powerful divine. But divines don't always come in the same package. There are beings that have the power level of a divine that aren't gods, per se, although have that same power. It's really semantics. There is Ao, who you know of, who we know very little of, and then there are all of the lesser deities, such as Helm, such as Tyr, Shantea. But there are also princes of the abyss. There are also the lords of the nine hells. There are also evil, old entities which exist and are selfish, prideful, nefarious, seeking to offset those that are good and benevolent. any of these could have given power to or even directly interacted with. Well, that's highly unlikely. Eo's made that very difficult. More likely a champion, or as they're often called, a chosen, would have been able to affect the shield.
Okay. So you don't know specifics, but we do appreciate that information. Speaking of those lesser deities, although I don't think Tyr is a lesser deity, Tyr now speaks to me. You may recall that I was not chosen to be a paladin of Helm. I'm over it now. But Tyr has sent me on a mission. And I lead her to the table. I say, these are items that I meant to repair for Tyr that came from a chosen, I don't know if he was chosen, more like a paladin of Tyr. And I don't know how to repair it. And those around here think that there's a much more advanced location that could help repair it. And so I'm asking you and your knowledge base of fantastical items if you could help direct me on my next course of action with these.
Yes. Given the design, the make, the symbolism of Tyr, there's a necrotic shard in here.
A what?
Necrotic? It's a necrotic gem. On the back here of this helm.
Okay.
In order to put this back together, you would need an Inferno anvil.
Where will I find that?
Well, there is rumor of such a item in the hills to the northeast of Mithril Hall,
Oh, sheesh.
in the lands of the Many Arrows, far to the north. It's near one of the branches of the Serban River, near Black Arrow Keep. Many orcs up there, and their ilk. That anvil and the furnace that accompanies it has the power to reforge these. The anvil is magical, and the furnace will house, should the rumors be true, coals of the elemental plane of fire. Hot enough to reforge these types of items. But you'll need something that can transport it. Well, the coals at least. The anvil would be easy enough to pick up, bring with you.
Bring with me. Where? Why would I need to take it?
Well, to continue to use it, of course.
Oh, that would be fancy. I might set up shop after that if I get my own back.
Possession is 9/10 of the law, you know?
That's a good idea. How could I carry infernal coal? That's crazy.
Well, you'd need something that either is resistant to it or to offset it. Something
I got all kinds of stuff here. Inferno cabochon and some flame ash. Oh, I got some raw Stalrim. I bet I could come up with something.
I have my furnace.
You have your what?
The furnace. The thermal.
Thermos.
Thermal. Yep, thermos. Yep.
Bag of holding.
Bag of holding.
Okay. Thank you for that information.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Any other questions about anything from the rest of you?
Teslenstein. I know you know who that is.
Teslenstein.
Please share all you know, or at least where we could find information on that. Him.
Surprisingly, I don't know much about him. Father Greg was the source of that information.
Yes.
He was an apprentice of Teslenstein, and you were his opus.
So I hear.
You should track down Quailish, or rather, his laboratory.
Okay. Where's that? I guess we don't know.
I don't know, but there are rumors of it being in mountains, high mountains somewhere. I'm not sure where. Honestly, I've not searched very hard because it's myth as much as anything else. But the fact that Teslenstein exists means that Quailish's laboratory must exist somewhere. He was a legendary artificer, came up with mechanical marvels of all sorts, melded the divine arts with the arcane, and, if rumor is true, worked with beings of, well, extra dimensions, planes, to complete his projects.
Keeps coming
That
back.
knowledge alone could be very useful to us.
Keeps coming back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if only we had a warlock on our team. Oh,
You do.
Anything else?
I take off my necklace and I say, is there anything that you can tell me about this?
Where did you get that?
From my home?
Do you know what it is?
No.
May I hold it?
Yes.
you can trust her.
She grabs it and
Pocket dimension.
she immediately traces a signal. She says, as I thought. These shards are warded against scrying and magical forms of detection. The only way to find them is to find it with your own two eyes. I've searched and tried. Deposits cannot be detected through magical means. You know what those are now, right? Nazir explained.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. This is a refined deposit of the elemental plane of water.
Wow.
That's pretty powerful then.
We should sell that thing.
No.
Just kidding.
There would be those who would pay you a king's ransom for that. And there will be those who will kill you at the drop of a hat if they know you have it.
Some have tried.
You should hide it.
That can be used as a channel. That sort of power can take on the divine power of Helm. For it is of the divines.
So if someone else had something like that, they could hypothetically take down a barrier of Helm.
If they knew how to wield it, yes.
Okay. Would that make them very tired if they knew how to wield it? Channeling their energy through it?
Could, I don't know. Never seen one used. In fact, I've never seen one before.
My mentor gave it to me.
You should say father before. You're right.
Nope.
Or she's just being...
It was given to me as a gift, but I did not understand its power. And I had a dream that my father was in and said I needed to practice. How do I practice?
Well, First thing you would need to do is spend time with that item.
Mm-hmm.
Seek to meld your magical essence with it. Attune to it is the typical nomenclature, but it's far more involved than that with this. And then take very small steps in seeking to understand and unlock its power. You yourself need to grow strong enough to wield the depths of its power. Otherwise, it would overwhelm you. It would overwhelm anyone.
Understood.
Is it dangerous?
Very. Especially in the wrong hands.
What would happen if someone collected these?
That would be very, very bad if they knew how to use them all. They would have the power of the gods.
All of them?
Whoever's essence they collected through the deposits.
How many shards are there?
No one knows. Most people don't even know where they are.
Okay.
Wait. Did you say something yesterday about Greenest?
Did, yes.
I don't remember Greenest. I've never been there.
We heard it in passing of the city that was destroyed.
Would there have been a shard in Greenest?
Weren't we there when that's where we first found Thorig's burial shroud?
You did pass through Greenest on the way to and from Nightstone.
Mm-hmm.
Would they have had a shard?
Yeah.
I would doubt it.
Shards are very powerful artifacts, deposits. Again, they cannot be detected through magical means, but
You would have to know it's
their effects of them can be discerned over time through unnatural occurrences, through supernatural occurrences. The gods themselves can reveal their existence, although
Gods created them?
they are deposits of the essence of the gods, leftovers, remains in these planes.
Mhm.
They're not all here on the material plane, they are throughout the planes.
It makes me wonder how my mentor came to be in possession of it then. I come from a tiny fishing village.
You are Genasi.
Yes.
Your lineage is of the elemental plane of water.
Yes.
That shard,
From my father.
was your father the Genasi?
Yes.
Well, there you go. There's a connection.
If one of these could break down the barrier, what could this stone do?
Hers?
Yes.
Each one, so the rumors say, are uniquely situated based off of which deity, which power they're connected to. This one is connected with the elemental plane of water. So it will have the ability to affect and to manipulate water in all of its forms.
Therese,
Yes,
would you like some breakfast?
yes.
Jax! Jax, can you get this lady some food, please?
What do you want? A little gnome.
Don't mind her.
Some eggs would be beautiful. Thank you.
She makes some mean omelet, from what I hear.
Is a black staff to be trusted?
Yes, of course, implicitly. Without question.
You're asking someone a part of the Black Staff
Well,
in
you
a
seem
position
to
of
trust her
power.
with some important details.
I've known her my whole life of 3 years in Florence.
She's also trusting us with certain details.
Blackstaff and the Open Lord, their job is to protect this city. and the people of the city, and the interests of the city. There may be other interests that those conflict with at times, but they are good.
So they would have no problem removing someone that they thought was an issue for the city.
Correct.
So by that reason, they wouldn't think that the Blackwoods would be an issue for the city.
I don't know much about the Blackwoods, other than by reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Although, candidly, they have commissioned me to find them items at times.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken their gold. I've found them their items, or at least told them where it was.
So there you go. Thank you.
If for any reason you thought that those items would pose a threat to the city, would you still hand them over?
Of course not.
There you go.
Savris guides me.
Would you tell them where it is?
I look through the threads of possibility.
Ball's in your court.
And
Shouldn't
just
take your side, friend.
And just as there are many threads that unravel, so too do I discern whether it is appropriate to divulge such information. I do have a gift for finding what is difficult to find when it comes to magical items, however.
What happens to you if you don't deliver on something that they've commissioned you to do?
Good question.
I am called to deliver information, not the item itself.
Have you ever lied to them?
No, no need to. I simply tell them that I can't help them if I can't.
And they were okay with that?
They have to be. I'm the only one of me.
And you specialize in finding magical items.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Charisse, really appreciate your help. I'm glad that we were able to save you.
I show her my scissors. I also have these, and I'm not sure. I feel like they're missing a piece.
Well, yes, of course, right here.
What do you know? What is required in that spot?
I would need some time. If you give me some time with them, I can determine most likely where to look.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Anything else? You've been quiet, Morthos. Are you okay?
I am fine. I'm just listening.
Right.
One more thing. Do you know anything more than maybe we already know about this hopper here?
That's a good question.
Because it seems like it's some sort of artificing inside there. And this Teslenstein is now in the middle of our quests. Is this okay to be inside of me?
Hasn't killed you yet.
Yet.
What does it do? I've never seen anything like it.
Interesting.
You see these
You have
necklaces?
never seen anything like it. Interesting.
This is a local portal hopper, basically.
She traces the symbol.
This is how we got to Amphel so quickly.
You know, these are protected against scrying too. Interesting. Has your necklace ever reacted with this?
They glow.
Oh yes, she's been moved away.
She's also brought us back when we were poofed away.
Oh yes, yes she has.
That's true.
Could that be one of those?
Could be.
Does the term convergence mean anything to you?
Nope. I specialize in items. The ones who specialize in the big picture threads were always Nain and Farrick.
Yes.
One of them is gone.
One of them I meant to find.
Alright. What are your plans in town? You going back to Amphel?
Well, my tower's been destroyed.
Yeah.
So...
Did you save your wares?
Nope.
Would you
Sorry.
ever think about relocating?
Do you have a suggestion?
Yeah, Nightstone. They're looking for good people. They're an up-and-coming town. They could use someone like you.
Leo gave me this, and Leo gave me these.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
You might have.
And now I have, because of that pin,
Nice.
Plus 2.
17.
Nightstone sounds nice.
It's two sweet people going on there.
And if you would need to communicate back with us, Leo has a way that he can do that.
Good to know.
You probably know of the item. It's basically a message in the bottle that transports it to the other bottles.
We have it in our bar.
Oh, that?
Yep.
We should
That's
probably
right.
check it.
She points to the wall.
Yeah, let's
We
check
know
it.
I haven't checked it in a while.
Do we have any mail?
Jackson. You got mail.
Yeah. Jack says, nothing. I've been paying attention to it.
Where's that on?
Thanks, Jax.
Here you go, Hold.
He doesn't even eat.
That's
Take
not
it
mine.
from him.
Here you go, Charisse. Thank you for your help.
My pleasure. Stay safe. Be careful.
You too. Tell Leo we said hello.
I will.
I'll let him know you're coming as well.
Okay, thanks.
Then let me know if you learn anything about the scissors.
Well, I'm not going to leave until I give you that information.
Understood.
Oh yeah, and if you come across any little goblins over there, just mention that you know us, and you'll be fine.
Moniker. Yes.
Yeah.
That's your name, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Ah,
We're,
You seem nonplussed by your name.
We're
What's
working on
our name 5 years from now?
yeah. Look at that thread.
That would be Nain or Farrick, not me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that means it's big picture.
Ooh.
In the history book, because we're clearly not
Real
making it
life,
5
5
years.
years from
I
now.
write a little letter that Cherise will be coming. She's a diviner that specializes in finding magical things.
Send it on through.
Yep.
Got it. A little while later, you get another letter that back says, "We will welcome her with open arms and are grateful for the continued support that you are providing our humble town. Sincerely and most appreciative, Leopold
No
Helmsford."
letters and accents.
Is there? did any
Angstrom.
did any any beef jerky come back with that?
No, it did not.
We should write a little note. Please send.
It's written on
please
beef
send
jerky.
beef jerky.
All right. So, any further conversations you wish to have amongst yourselves? Sola, you said you wanted to speak with Melsine.
Already did.
Okay, you're
The
covered.
necklace.
Morthos, you wanted to go to the library.
Yep.
Who else wanted to go to the library?
Me.
Sola. All right. You guys go to the library. What are you looking for there?
I am looking for Lux. And
Lux.
yes, Order of Lux.
Order of Lux. Okay. And Morthos, what are you looking for?
I want to try to find any information on Dralak's family.
Okay. I need each of you to roll investigation checks.
Nat 20, nat 20. 17?
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
All right.
So,
My
Sola,
regards.
in looking through the section on different orders and organizations of paladins and clerics and holy warriors, you do find reference to Ordo Lux as a organization that is secretive. Its membership is kept hidden. It is an organization that operates through invitation only. and its members are almost always members of other organizations that then come together and
It's like a black ops.
collaborate on bigger picture endeavors. You learn that they don't typically talk about it, and anyone who knows about it would play dumb. So you would either need to discern that they're not letting on less than they otherwise know, or make known to people your interest, and you would typically do that through speaking with paladin orders and holy temples, and then wait and see if they contact you about what that would look like. Morthos, you look through some old basically, for lack of a better term, newspaper articles of Waterdeep, and look through the first you look through the chronicles of the houses, so all the different nobles and the people of importance in Waterdeep, and you come across the Nevermore family, and you find that they were removed as nobles from Waterdeep several decades ago. In fact, it was over 100 years ago, many, many years ago. And then you search the old news articles and you find that they were disgraced and forced out when their patriarch was executed for dabbling in some demonic occult group. And it seems they went north somewhere, though the chronicle doesn't say where. You do find another article that does say that the name of the occult group that the patriarch, whose name is stricken from the record, is just the Nevermore family, is mentioned. But the patriarch was found guilty of not only being a member of the Order of the Horned King, but also seeking to subvert and spread the Horned King's power within Waterdeep. And therefore he was executed. All right. Rygar and Eli, you guys leave and go hunting for the day. Is there any conversation you wish to have while you're doing so?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
You have that conversation already.
yeah, we had to get out of town. There's too much going on in there.
We spent too much time in the city. I need to hunt and be in the outdoors.
I agree. There's after seeing all of that wreckage in Amphel, you just need to reset.
I've seen my fair share of destruction, but nothing on that scale. You've mentioned that you've seen that before.
Yeah.
Past lives.
Yeah.
How often?
More than I care to remember. And I don't forget those images and the sounds and the smells and just the look on people's faces. You know what I mean? When you see the terror while they're alive, and then the minute they're killed, that terror just turns into utter pain.
I am becoming more familiar with that look. And you write all this in your book and keep track. You must have a lot of telling stories.
Yeah, none of them are good. That's not true. Some of them are, but none of the battles like that. And I've lived some good lives, and I've lived some not so good lives, and I've seen both ends of those slaughterings. And there are just some things you can't drink away.
And that's why you're skeptical of the Grey Hands, because there's black and white.
It's not so much that, it's unless you're the one giving the orders, you will get used eventually. And you'll be put into a situation where you are the expendable one.
I do agree.
I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're good.
Right.
I think they have a self-serving interest, which they've made clear.
It's a matter of perspective, and it's naive to believe that it's all good.
No one is.
Correct.
All are broken. All have fallen short.
And when I found you, and you were broken, you were dead, weren't you?
Yeah.
What had happened? Do you remember?
Yeah. We infiltrated a camp, and it was at night. We made our way around a creature that came out of a lake. It was a room that they sent others in to die. We made our way through. We ambushed, and we fought, and we succeeded, or so I thought. Some of us perished. That's where I saw Gundrick die.
So it was only recently that he died.
A couple of years. And then I died. And then I don't know what happened after that until I woke up.
Technically, be a couple months.
A couple months. So then, yes, recently. And then you found me, and I woke up on your cart.
So, your previous party members, where are they? Scattered? Alive? Dead?
Most are dead. Some are alive. It's crazy to see how time ebbs and flows, and the people that you wouldn't have thought twice about, wouldn't have cared about, become someone you can't even understand living without. And I keep living and they keep dying. And that becomes a burden to bear.
The name Pain Curse, I think, is fitting with that sentiment.
Yeah. And that's why after Am fell and seeing all that carnage, we gotta do something to. I can't keep that memory. It brings up too many others. We got to do something tedious and exacting, which is why I wanted to go hunting with you, and maybe we can get something. And I do like taxidermy.
Well, I do have some leatherworking tools, things like that. I'd be more than happy to help.
Huh?
I said you guys are getting into leather.
Well, let's go find that albino stag, huh?
Yes, the albino stag. I've been meaning to ask. There was no stag, was there?
There may be. I'm sure one exists.
Fair, but...
Also, I didn't know you from Adam.
I understand. The events that are surrounding Waterdeep, do you have any information on that? Well,
I do not.
in my mind, it's clear who the true enemy is, being the Dragonbolt. They seem to have their hand in this, and when, in one way or the other, when we're talking about picking sides, I think the true enemy is clear.
Maybe. They might be involved. I don't think they're the top of the pyramid, though. At least that's not what it feels like. As far as these portals, I know nothing about that. The Blue Alley, I'm very old. I've never experienced anything like that.
So it's new to you.
I barely remember that. Being pain cursed, I had no idea what that was until about a month ago. I just thought, this is my lot in life.
Let's get that stag.
All right, so you continue hunting, and you work with Zeus on.
What do you want to work on them with? Like survival or stealth? Do I get to choose?
Sure. So one would be more tracking,
Right.
and one would be trying to get better at moving quietly through with his heavy armor on, which gives him disadvantage
I was
on
going
his
to say,
So,
we already have him as a tracker.
We shall work on stealth. We'll try to get him to like sneak up and roost things out.
All right, so roll an animal handling check to see how well you do with that.
Oh, I have, okay. Got it. 10.
Okay.
Zeus,
Doesn't
be
seem
quiet.
doesn't seem to
I am
be able
being
to.
quiet.
Doesn't seem to get much
Clank,
better
clank.
through the use. All right, let's move over to Melandra. As you make your way back to the shrines of nature, and what is your objective there?
Information about the Grey Hand and what is it? Vashira? Vashira? Is he the
Vajra.
one? Vajra?
Yep, Vajra Safar. Which
Should we be getting involved with them and specifically?
so you're going to speak with Squick?
Maybe.
Who-
Yeah.
Who are you, or is there someone specifically you're going to speak with, or?
I mean, I'm hoping to connect with my mother. To
Oh,
find
you
out
want to
more.
try
Should we?
to go to the shrine of Shantae
Yeah. Should
again?
we get involved with the whatever's happening under the harbor?
Got it.
'Cause if
Okay,
it's
so you
part
make
of-
your way back to the shrines of nature, and having been acknowledged as friends of the Black Staff now, and with your previous experience there, you are let in by the guard and Wildkeeper Squick, and she leads you back to the Mother's Garden, which is the shrine of Shantae with the pergola and the statue, and you seek to commune again with Shantae.
Yes.
Right, so I need you to roll a religion check. As Sower Lana watches again, and you seek to find audience with Shantae.
7 plus 5.
12.
Religion, right?
Okay, yep.
Yep.
So you find yourself getting lost again in the sunlight that is trickling through the pergola, the arbor structure above the shrine. And as you feel the warmth of the sun overtake you, you find yourself awake in a field. You wake up, and whereas last time you were in the midst of a cornfield, this time this seems to be wheat or grain, some sort of tall grass that comes up to about waist level, as far as your eyes can see. And you wander around and don't really find anything specifically, Roll a perception check.
13.
13. In the distance, you see a rustling in the grass ahead of you. Do you approach it? Or do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the rustling, and as you approach, you kind of peel back the grass, and you see newly hatched out of an egg a small creature, maroonish in color, that looks up at you and almost smiles, if its toothy grin can be a smile. Its wings unfurl and it flies up around you and lands on your shoulder with a kind of a tail ending in a stinger. And you hear a voice behind you. So, daughter, do you like your newest present? What will you name her? Well, no matter. You can
I'll name her
take
Gold.
Gold.
Yep.
Confusing, but I like it. And as you name her Gold, and she says confusing, you hear a clap behind you, and the pseudo-dragon's color immediately turns to gold.
Ooh.
And she says, well, she will be your faithful companion, and will certainly be of great assistance on your journeys, as your new familiar.
Oh. And I turn around, I thank her.
There's no one there.
Whoever that voice.
You turn, for the first time actually seeking to turn, and she's not there. She speaks up again, and the voice is now behind you again. She says, it is not yet time.
Oh, she's crafty.
Now, I'm sure you didn't come here just for your dragon. What is it that you need, daughter?
Yes, so you probably already know we were in Amphil, because the city was attacked.
It was attacked?
Yes. You didn't know about this?
I am not Shantea. I am simply a handmaiden of Shantea. So no, I do not have omniscience.
Okay, so...
Or omnipotence, or omnipresence. I am finite, as you are.
Yeah. But sadly, we got there, and unfortunately, we weren't on time, and most of the city was burned down because it was attacked by a dragon. A black dragon this time. I think it was, my friend said, because the first one was a red dragon, if I remember correctly. We were sent there to save a couple people. We managed to save 2 of them, but unfortunately, under the circumstances, a lot of the people in town perished.
That's tragic.
Yes, it's very tragic. And we managed to head back to Waterdeep, and I just need some advice. So we went back to Waterdeep, and we spoke to Vajra, and he's a part of the Grey Hand. Do you know who they are?
Vajra Safar.
Yes.
She is the Archmage of Waterdeep. She works under Laurel Silverhand, the Open Lord.
Can they be trusted?
Laurel is a chosen of Maestra. She certainly can be trusted.
Okay.
Maestra is the goddess of the magical weave, one of the allies of Shantea.
Okay. So I know as part of my mission, I was sent to Waterdeep to kind of investigate the happenings that have been going on, and he would like us to investigate something that's going on under the harbor. Something dangerous, he thinks.
By all means.
So you think we should kind of like look into that and find out what is happening?
Well, I sent you to Waterdeep to find the occurrences of a growing darkness. There is a growing darkness that cannot determine the source of, and Shantae has tasked me with sussing out. So I would investigate anything and everything that is out of place, is off, in the hopes of finding whatever the source of this commotion, this blackness, this taint is. Yes, I said taint.
Old night was worth it.
You're so sophomoric.
Can you give me
graduated
some
college.
wisdom on how we can go about doing this? Because obviously it's going to be a dangerous situation and we just don't want to head in straight on.
I have no further information other than, in my view, Laurel can be trusted, and anyone who Laurel trusts is probably worthy of your trust.
Would it be possible? I know I'm getting kind of frustrated because I know you sent me to Waterdeep and you don't know much, but is there a way to send a message to my mother to get me more information on this?
You're speaking to your mother right now. That's me.
You are.
Yes, I am. Congratulations, that was the easiest request you've made.
Here I am.
Now you know.
Can you tell me what your name is? I know the last time you really didn't want to do that, but
It's Mum.
Mumsy.
Mumsy, yes.
Why would you seek my name?
because I want to learn more about you because you seem to have left my father and I would like to know more about why that is.
Step up to the plate.
Well, excuse me. If it has not become evident through our conversations, I am beholden to Shantae. As I have said, I am the handmaiden of Shantae. I am what is often referred to as an angel. I am an angel of Shantae. I have oversight and responsibility within my celestial planes to battle against the forces of evil that would corrupt and destroy. Therefore, I cannot stay in one place long. Your father, he was a good man, is a good man.
Is he still alive?
As far as I know, though he has disappeared. Beyond a veil that I cannot pierce.
Oh, one more thing. During this battle...
So you don't want to know my name then?
Yes, yes, you do want to know.
I do. You still haven't answered my question about your name.
I am Elmina.
El Nino.
Rovanel. Is that where I get my last name, or is that my dad's name?
That is your father's.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And on a different note, during this battle, I sprouted wings and I could fly.
Yes. There are perks with being half angelic, are there not?
Yes. It was amazing.
Indeed.
It was a different way to see the battle, and I very much enjoyed it. So thank you.
Yes. Continue to press in as you grow. What?
I said thanks for banging my dad.
As you continue to grow in strength, I will entrust more of Shantae's power to you.
Okay, I look forward to that. Well, thank you for appearing to me and speaking to me, and I will head back and relay this information to my wonderful companions.
Take care of Goldie.
I will.
And the sky goes bright as the light overtakes you again, and you wake up again with your neck covered in ground.
Weird.
And the ground kind of unfolds around you, and this time you have a little pseudo dragon in your hands
That's so cute.
that immediately flies up and flutters around and lands on your shoulder.
Awesome.
And your Pact of the Chain is now activated with your new familiar.
Alright, and I turn to Squick and I thank her for letting me in again.
You're
Go
most
ahead
welcome.
And I will head back to the house.
All right. So long. I'll see you later.
See you later.
And you head out. Okay. So that done. Hold.
So,
You head to the Hall of Justice
yeah.
to convene with Tyr, I take it.
Yeah.
So you move to the Castle Ward, which is down here. And you approach where the intersection of the Castle Ward and the Sea Ward, which is kind of over in here, where several of these, the Field of Triumph is there, the Order of the Gauntlet is there, etc., as well as the Hall of Justice. And you recall that the Hall of Justice is the seat of jurisprudence in the city. So it's not only a temple, but it's also essentially where all of the courts are held. And the judges that are there are typically adherents or servants of Tyr, but also they're civil servants of the city as well. And so you approach the stout blue stone building that has several white marble statues of warriors in battle around its frame. And there's a very large set of scales that are evenly balanced just outside the entrance. So you step in, and immediately, this is the first time you're in this temple, you're greeted with a 15-foot marble statue of a heavily armored warrior. His left hand rests on the hilt of a sword, as if ready to draw it, while his right arm is extended, wrist upward, though it's difficult to tell because the hand is missing. But it's reaching out as if to give something to those who approach. And the statue's gaze is fixed as you come through the door, and you would see his eyes were it not for the fact that there is a cloth that's tied around his head, which effectively blinds him. A female acolyte approaches you. She says, "Are you here for business? Business of justice? Or communion with the even hand?"
Aren't they this one and the same?
Aye. They are. But practically, do you have a court date, or do you want to go to the temple?
I need to be in the temple.
Well, this way. And she walks with you and takes you past several large rooms that look like they're a court in session. Several of them have juries, some have small galleries of people watching, and it looks like there's many different types of trials and adjudication going on. You go past all that and you come to a area where there's a small shrine set up doesn't seem to be the central hall of worship, but she says, "Are you looking for solace? Are you looking for silence and solitude? Or do you want to be in the big chamber with the other acolytes and adherents?"
I need Tyr to answer me. I have questions.
Alright, well,
Where is the best spot for that?
here seems as good as any other.
Okay, thank you.
She leaves you to yourself, closes the door behind you, and much like this simplicity of Nightstone, there's a single table with some incense burning on it, with a set of scales, which are set to even. And the room is dimly lit, lowly lit, and
How big is this room?
it's about 20 feet by 10 feet.
Alright, I'm pacing this time. I'm not gonna be like on my knees or anything.
Okay?
Pacing, and I say, I was amazed first time you spoke to me, but ever since then it's gotten more and more confusing. Can you tell me what you meant or have meant in the past 24 hours about justice being not black or white, and what was deserved by Father Greg? I don't understand, and I need you to help me get it.
Roll a religion check with advantage.
Because I was pacing.
Come on. Yeah.
I do that sometimes.
You get closer
Show
to
that
God.
urgency.
11.
As you pace back and forth,
You don't.
Ever.
the walls around you begin to reverberate. And as they shake, you notice them and you stop pacing. And you look and you kind of turn in a circle, taking it all in. And as you turn, the walls shift in a moment. And you find yourself in a very large room. And in front of you is a large raised dais with a massive chair behind it. To your right is another chair that sits next to the dais. You glance behind you and there are rows of benches aligned that would fit a large gallery of people. To the left of the raised platform is another chair behind which a smaller desk with writing instruments rests upon. As you stand there gazing at this empty room, you suddenly hear the banging of a large hammer. Snapping your attention back to the raised dais, seated before you is one of the most imposing images you've ever seen. An entity of towering height and muscular build. This human-looking being peers down at you, seemingly observing you as closely as you are observing him. At least he would be peering down at you if his eyes were not obscured by a blindfold that was tied around his head. In his left hand, he holds the hammer which he has just struck upon his desk. And in his right hand, well, there is nothing, because it's missing. While mentally taking note of these things, the entity begins to speak in a voice that is familiar to you. The matter of Hold, the reconstructed Warforged, is before me. Is the court of recognition prepared? Out of nowhere, a large, muscular male with large swan-like wings appears in the seat to the left of the dais. The angelic being quickly responds, The recorder of the court is ready, and the witnesses are gathered. Upon the mentioning of witnesses, you immediately sense that you are being watched from the seats behind you. But your attention is fixed at the blindfolded being seemingly gazing and presiding over this court, which you now know is exactly what all those courtrooms that you passed across are modeled after. This looks grander and more divine. He speaks now directly to you. Hold. You have been summoned here by virtue of your acts of bravery and courage in the pursuit of justice. Yet you have experienced loss and hurt. I am Tyr, the god of justice, and I have seen in you the qualities deserving of my direct and he kind of leans forward relationship. So, you may ask your questions. They will be recorded before the court, as will my answers.
Well, in the middle of Tyr's, as soon as he reveals that he's Tyr, Hold will fall to his knees.
Your fealty and respect are appreciated, but unnecessary. You may rise.
Okay, I will.
Now, you are upset.
Yes, your Majesty, you told me that justice is not black or white. Always is not always black or white. But I was not taught this by those who followed Helm. So why is justice different for two of you?
Helm is not concerned with justice. Helm is concerned with protection. Protecting whatever he has set and commanded to buttress. I am concerned with justice, fairness, with righteousness. And in that pursuit, there are times when compassion and mercy must be shown alongside of wrath and punishment. The adherents of my realm must exercise discernment. This is why it is not always a matter of black and white, for mercy will be shown to those who don't deserve it, and punishment will be given to those who seek forgiveness. It is a matter of wisdom.
So what punishment did my father require? Or why did my father require such a punishment?
Your father, Father Greg, he tampered with things of which he should not. His curiosity and ambition drove him to meddle, and he released forces that he should not have. He sought penance through Helm, and sought to protect the world from that which he had released. But it was time for him to face the punishment, and he did, by the same force that he had a hand in setting loose.
That couldn't be. Did he? No, he couldn't. No, he didn't know that was happening, did he?
He made you for a purpose.
Yeah, to take care of his horses.
You are subaltern.
I've heard that before. What does that mean?
You are a defender and keeper of the plains. But that is what you were. You were repurposed by Father Greg to assist with the protection of Helm. But you could not be accepted by Helm. But I will accept you.
So am I supposed to defend and keep the plains now?
When
Why did these enemies call me subaltern? How do they know this?
Subalterns are very old and powerful when honed properly.
If I had a purpose in Helm, and that is no longer necessary, what is my purpose in you?
Helm could not use you. He was not allowed to.
Who could stop Helm? Why was I not allowed to?
You are contested.
Oh boy. By you? Or are you now contesting against
The
what?
heart within you drew you to justice, and so I was allowed to intervene. You have been sought and contested by many, but it is your choices that have allowed me to seek and find you.
Wow. I guess I thank you for that. What is trying to take a hold of me? I haven't talked to anyone.
Those who would have the power of a subaltern under their control.
Not good people or beings.
There are many.
Well, how can I use the power of a subaltern in your guidance?
I have given you 2 tasks to complete.
Yes.
What progress have you made towards them?
You do know more now than
I
you
know
did.
I know a lot more about Gundrick. and I know the location that I need to find the anvil, the infernal anvil, in order to repair this equipment.
Excellent.
And on the way, I'll try to stop and tell his mother.
In Thornhold.
In Thornhold.
Erwin.
Yes.
Erwin Stoneshaft.
Yes. Just in case.
Has the court of recognition enough evidence by which to adjudge Hold as an agent of justice? The angel speaks up. The court so adjudges. Tyr speaks again. Then it is settled, Hold of Amphale, previously forged for unwavering war, you are now called to exercise discernment and wisdom as you compassionately yet rightly mete out justice. Do you accept your appointment as an agent of justice?
Yes.
Then go.
I do.
Complete the tasks given you, and let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-failing stream. And as he says that, he hits his desk, and you find yourself pacing in the temple once more.
Next one I play is going to have a god.
All right.
I'm gonna go back home now.
Like Tamfil?
Vincent, you're able to get those spells in, and in your research, you're able to also complete your work on the counter spell that you had been seeking, as well as the slow spell that you had been seeking.
Cool.
And so you get all of those into your spell book. And as Morthos, as you are leaving the font of knowledge, Lily approaches you. She says, hey, you were with Eli before, weren't you?
Oh yes, Eli says hi.
Tell him I said hello too.
I will surely do
I
that.
would love to get my eyes on him even more.
I bet you would.
Now listen, I've kind of got the sense that you guys are, a bit of adventurers, right?
Well, you could say that.
Well, I have been given a task by Ogma to clear out the study sanctuary underneath the city. I'm pretty sure you've already been there.
How do we know?
That's what Eli said when he asked about the statue of Ogma down there. And, we've been told that it's been corrupted further, and Ogma wants to reclaim it as a place of retreat and rest for his acolytes and those researching. So if you guys would check that out and clear out whatever's down there, we'd really appreciate it.
Would there happen to be anything in it for us to do this?
Oh, we would certainly handsomely reward you.
Free library passes.
For 3 years.
Your lives.
Aren't library passes free anyway?
That's where she gets you.
All right, well,
All right. I will pass that along.
thank you. Say hi to Eli again for me.
Oh, I definitely will.
All right. Very well. Right. You guys make your way back to...
I have to go to 9 yet.
Oh yeah. So you go to Nye.
Yeah.
Okay. And Nye is there with Sydney, kind of debriefing on the Amphil encounter. Ah. It was Melcine then, is that true?
Yes, you're right.
Well done in assisting my friend in overcoming the attack.
Thank you. We wish we could have done more.
Oh, yes. Well, you saved the Lord Warder, and that was Sydney's charge. You saved many people in the town. I'm sure you did all you could do.
We tried. We did try our hardest. I've noticed how I would like to be more accomplished in my ability to heal. And I was wondering if you would be willing to teach me.
Of course. Are you available now?
Yes.
So roll just a general intelligence check to see if you can get her the training she's seeking to give you.
Nope. 3.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem that you're picking up what I'm putting down, so how would I just sell you some supplies for that there kit you have?
I would appreciate them. However, I'm very low on funds.
Ah. Well, I'll have them ready when you return.
Can you tell me what I will need for it?
How many do you need?
7.
7. Well, that would be 70 gold.
Okay.
All right. Sydney's there and she sees you. She says, she kind of looks at you again. She says, "Well done." Turns and walks away. Just kind of acknowledging what you guys did. Hold, as you are walking out of the temple, a blonde-haired man with kind of flowing blonde hair. His eyes are unnaturally aglow. Very similar to Mylandra, actually. In terms of her, you kind of get the sense that he is an Aasimar like Mylandra, half angelic. He's wearing ceremonial armor and carries a ceremonial shield with stylized scales inlaid across the chest, and there's gold trim throughout. He sees you, and he says, "You have spoken Zutir. I have been sent. I am Justikar Andumir."
Justikar.
Yes.
Okay, I'm Hold, agent of justice.
I love it.
As I smile.
I
at his
love
face.
it. The name's
Part of
Hole.
another one too.
That's it.
I have been sent to let you know, and I will help you however I can.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Do you have any questions of Tyr?
I just talked to Tyr, like face to face. He didn't see me, but you know.
Yes.
But I honestly don't know how to be an agent of justice, and my shoulders slumped. So I mean,
The agents do the tasks that you are given.
great. You give me tasks. Is that what you're for?
No? Tyr?
Oh, I already have my tasks.
Then do them.
Yes. How can I do them better? Is my question to you, Justicar.
It is not a question of better. It is a question of haste.
Faster.
Yes.
Okay.
He immediately sprints. I'm going, guys.
So you're here to help me, right?
Surftier
Yes.
and his hand will be upon you.
His left hand, right?
Surftier and you will become his right hand.
I like that.
Ooh.
I like it.
Foreshadowing.
Okay. I'm on my way. Next step.
You know how it was taken, do you not?
I actually have no clue.
Ah, and this is why he sent me. He lost it in the battle with Kesef the Chaos Hound. One of the great old ones.
A goo?
Sendries Ako, ein alliance of Ferunian Kads, chased Kesef, cross the parents of doom, and sought to stop him from festering the souls of the faithful. And when he was finally surrounded, the gods put Kesef. He could not break und leash forged by Kond, the Wanderspringer. Gond, the Wanderspringer. Kesef allowed Kond to place a short length of sturdy chain around his neck in exchange for Tyr, placing his right hand in the Chaos Hound's slaughtering jaws. Kond hankered the chain miles deep in the floor of the parents' caves, and Maestra threaded the piece in unbreakable gloving curtain of magical energy that bound and automatically repaired itself. From these two traps, Kesef could not escape, and none could reach him. When Kesef discovered he was truly fettered, he bit off Tyr's hand and feasted on its divine essence for centuries, as he sought to free himself. After imprisoning him, the gods forbade traffic by either deity or mortal with the beast. So he has been known to make pacts with foolish mortals who seek greater power. This is how Tyr lost and right hand.
Wow. Does anyone... Do you know anyone who's actually made a pact with Kesef? That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Continue to observe here. Und his...
Excuse me? What?
Continue to serve.
Oh,
I think it said surf with Tyr.
Und his just hand will be with you.
Thank you. Shall I find you here next time?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be back with the infernal anvil.
Okay.
Okay.
So you make your way out, and Justikar and Jameer watch as you go. And you all reconvene back at your home.
Did we kill a deer?
Roll a survival check.
15.
You did find a deer and successfully slew it. You brought back the venison meat.
Beef jerky, venison jerky.
Are there any conversations you wish to have with each other in recounting the events of your day?
Yes.
Hey, Eli. I ran into your girlfriend at the library.
Oh, Lily.
Oh, yes, Lily.
What do you have to say?
I think she might have a thing for you. Just a little.
Probably have been buttering her up long enough.
Do you remember when we were in the sewers and we came across the temple or the shrine with the Dracovalis?
Yeah, it's where the walking brains were.
Yes. Well, apparently it is the statue of Agma.
The one that was spray painted.
I guess she said that you had talked to her about it. And anyway, I guess she has asked for us if we would be willing to take on removing all of the crap that is currently in place down there. I guess they would like it back for some of the more important followers of Agma to use that space again. She said that we would be very well compensated should we perform this task for her.
So that's really why you're telling me this.
Of course it is. That and the fact that I'm pretty sure that you are all broke. Wait, no, we are all the broke.
Yes, yes, we are.
I mean, yeah. We can do that. I'm not saying like right now, but
Add it to the to-do list.
I thought that you would be
Quite a
invited.
list.
You know, maybe with some flowers or chocolate.
Are we all
She
back
might
in the
like that.
house?
Yeah.
Grows every day.
Jax. Dinner for everyone.
you're a jerk.
I need to head north. ASAP. I've been told face to face by Tyr
Smoke the tear.
that my quest is antithetical, yes, I know what that means, to the things that are happening around us. And so
prepare.
I could care less about the harbor at this point.
On that note, in my investigations, it is imperative that we investigate the harbor.
Crap.
It is.
I hear what you're saying, but no. I raise.
No, because the same thing. It's got something to do with what's happening, like the whole dragon and so we're advised strongly to check out what's going on.
Perhaps we check out the
Who
harbor
told you?
tomorrow.
That's a real good question.
And
Was it a god?
So
Yeah, who
yes,
told you this?
My mother. I went back to the shrine and I was able to talk
who
to
Wait,
her.
your mother's a god?
And who is your mother?
Wait a
Yes,
moment.
her name is Almina. She finally was able to tell me that.
What's Almina the god of?
And
She
what is your mother?
The handmaiden of
Oh, she's not a god.
goddess Shantea, though.
Oh, that explains the wings the other day.
Yes, it does. There's some perks to being an angel. I found
Can't
that
believe I
out.
didn't
An
ask you that
angel.
previously.
You've been touched by an angel?
I am part angel. Yeah. And she says that
Wow.
we can trust Bashara, the Grey Hand. That anybody connected to Laurel can be trusted.
Oh.
Interesting.
Technically, she didn't
Yeah.
say that, but I just
Okay,
heard.
all right, okay.
She said probably.
Listen,
No,
You
she
lied,
said
you
trusted.
lied. You like interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can do what you want.
That's right.
all right.
Go underwater.
I think perhaps this harbor may be a good first step, but can we please...
You, in the
Head
midst of this
north.
conversation, as Jax brings out the meal, she says, "Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you. The carpenters were checking out the foundation, and they said that they can't do any more work because there's something preventing them from going down into the basement.
Well, I bet Vinny and I know what that is.
What do you mean?
Every time they try to open the door, it closes of its own accord, which I didn't tell them about Freddy, but he's not letting them down there. So that's an issue
about
too.
that, guys.
What's in the
Something to
basement?
tell us, guys?
I didn't even know we had a basement.
A couple days back, I
Who
heard
was in the
screaming in the
basement?
walls.
Yeah,
There may or there may not.
there definitely is. There definitely is.
All right, there definitely is
There's no babies.
a secret hallway, passageway per se in the basement that leads to a very scary room where Vinny almost killed me again.
I didn't kill him. It was the Sentinels that were down there.
that-
What,
guys
there are
screaming the other day?
sentinels?
There may or may not again be sentinels guarding something.
There definitely
that
are
is-
Sentinels down there. Two of them. One
In our home.
in the basement of
in the basement,
our
yes,
home,
underneath
yes.
our house, not quite in our house.
Are they
but-
keeping us safe?
They
As long as
definitely
you're not
tried
going down
to
there.
kill me. I think as
So
long
then
as you
yes.
don't get too close,
Hmm.
but apparently you get too close and they try to kill you.
I mean, it is our home. We should probably be able to go where we want without being attacked.
And now we have the problem of the carpenters not working.
Well, they're only just going to go down so far.
Yeah, who cares about the
As
basement?
long as they build above the basement, we're good.
Okay. Alright. So we have a personal task. in our
Yeah, so what I'm
basement.
saying is we shouldn't go anywhere. We should go right here.
You want us to do the basement?
What time is it?
That's what you're saying?
It's the morning. Or no, I'm sorry.
Evening.
It's the evening, maybe 7 o'clock, as you have gone through your day, done all of your tasks, hunted. Yeah,
We do have kids here.
the
Jax.
carpenters have kind of gone away for the day, and Jack just let
I
you
guess
know.
that is a valid point. We do have children here, and there is no doubt that they tried to kill us.
Candy Kyle, don't go in that room.
So
We
Yeah,
haven't
it
come
hasn't
down
come up
there.
before.
Freddie won't let us.
I was gonna say,
Well,
Freddy is
that you
there.
don't know of anyway.
I'm kind of curious as to what's down there.
So you want to investigate after dinner?
Do you know what curiosity killed?
The lizard.
I
Literally
was
all
pretty
of you
curious.
and not me.
Almost
still here.
Morthos, apparently.
I bet
Yeah,
that
but I am still here.
Maybe there's strength in numbers.
So
You are not the least tiny bit intrigued that there is sentinels in our basement.
I'm not intrigued. I'm more intrigued that a freaking god talked face to face to that guy. And she thinks that a god is her mother, even though it isn't.
She
Yes,
is,
but they are
that's a
crazy.
fact.
So, I mean, what do you expect?
Handmaiden of the god.
Yeah.
You're
I said she
assistant
was
to
an
the regional
angel.
manager.
I said she was an angel. She's closer than you are.
I'm
Your
just giving
mother
you a
is
hard
an
time.
angel.
Your mother
Yes.
is a hamster. Sorry.
Tyr said I was the subaltern.
Subaltern.
Yeah.
Didn't
That's
we know
what
that?
these bad guys keep
Hence
saying.
the
That's
wings.
what hackles.
Did you guys notice anything in the last battle?
No.
I don't
There's
have
a-
Why?
A
wings.
subaltern is the defender and keeper of the plains.
So that's what you are.
Was.
So then what
Made
are you?
for
What
now?
are you then?
Made for war.
What are you now?
Now I am an agent of justice. Hold. Agent of justice.
How would they have that information?
Who's they?
Hackle, the ones I've heard speak it.
I am a contested subaltern.
Agent of Justice.
Agent of justice.
Tested.
So basically, you're being fought over.
Friend of
I'm
the
being
Black
fought over by.
Aren't you in an order? of
Oh
some
well,
sort,
I
too?
have assumed
Order of
that
Gauntlet.
I wanted to be more towards war. Used as a keeper of the plains and as a war machine. as opposed to what Tyr wants me to do.
Which is what again?
I am whole.
Thank you, Ryan.
Agent of justice.
Hey, time out. What the hell's that thing on your shoulder?
Oh, right.
Nobody brought it up.
This is my new, what is it called?
Pseudo dragon.
Pseudo dragon. And her name is Gold.
Goldie,
Box.
I got her when I met my mother,
who is the assistant to the regional
who is an
god.
angel. She's the handmaiden.
Okay.
But yes, so this is my new friend. Meet everybody.
I go to Pet Gold. What happens?
And
Another
she
freaking pseudo
breathes
dragon.
fire.
That's the chicken and Penny.
Another pseudo dragon.
She doesn't actually breathe fire.
Oh.
She hiccups a little spark.
She takes her cue from you, Mylandra. So she kind of looks over at you and gives you a side glance to see whether she should allow Eli to pet him or not.
Yeah, and I give her.
Nice.
So she
Right
kind
up under the chin.
Oh, here we go.
leans
Here
into it.
we go.
Who's a good little girl?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I love dragons.
Do you
We
have any
know.
beef jerky on you?
No? Write a note. We need beef jerky
Leo
now.
can send it.
Okay. So down to the basement then.
Sure.
Let's go.
I don't think so, guys. I don't think we should.
I mean,
Like for tonight?
Yeah, right now.
No, I'd rather
Oh,
go to
not
bed
this
tonight
session.
and
Yeah.
fresh in the
No, I
morning.
mean tonight before we go to sleep. Or you guys go to sleep.
I mean, I haven't used anything. I'm feeling pretty good.
Let's do this.
Next year.
How dare they try to take you out?
You tried to take me out.
Sure.
Oh, I just kicked you.
I did take it out.
That was a good kick,
Yes,
Chris.
he did take me out.
I do apologize for that. But
We should finish the
justice.
job.
Two of the
Was
party
served.
have taken him down so far.
All right. So you guys all make your way down to the basement.
okay.
Okay. Guess it's
Rygar's
decided.
first, sneaking. Bugbears attack you.
Vincent
shoving
and
all those
Morthos show you all the faux panel that gives way to the secret hallway leading back to the room that the Sentinels
Just in
attacked.
case.
I'm gonna stay
I
back.
cast
Let everybody-
good berry and hand everybody a good berry.
Okay, so you give everyone a good berry.
Nice.
Love
You
it.
all have one
Every
good
day,
berry, so
please.
Melcene, you have 3, and everyone else has 1.
Gooseberry.
And
Good berries.
as you begin to make your way down the tunnel, you feel the rushing of wind across your faces and in the dust on the wall. With the fading light from the basement, the words "Good luck" are written on it.
Oh,
That's
Freddie.
I'm gonna hold my hand up for a high five.
That is a
And
sign
you
to
hear,
turn
you
around.
feel a kind of a
He said good luck.
dusty,
He wants us to go.
and
This is the one with the luck stone.
it is there that we will pick up our
That means we're all
next
gonna
session.
die.
No, I think he was waiting.
Moniker goes north, 2020. Coming at you. Summer!
Summer of 2020.
Summer
Alright.
2020.
You go under and come up
Well,
in the harbor.
Moniker
I'd rather
goes
die
back
than
to
out.
Amphil.
That was fun. We got a new
Just reach Amphil.
new digs here, and I think everything worked out. We got some squeaky chairs. We'll try to address
Yeah, very
those.
squeaky chairs.
Try to address those next time, and try to reconfigure some of our sound to make sure everyone's getting picked up okay. I was told that you were a little light sometimes, but otherwise
Not
it
my
was
problem.
good.
You were freaking quiet.
It's your equipment.
Dakota, why don't you pop your head on in
None of the
here?
mics are facing.
That's right.
Yeah. Come on down here. There we go.
What's up, guys? So, we had, while we were gone, including today, we had some follows and subs, so thank you so much. We have
Yay!
Samusar 1018 for the follow, Dirty Cochise for the follow,
Dirty goat cheese.
Dirty coaches.
Glory Rules for the follow, King Ding AH Ling,
I
King
like
Ding-a-Ling.
that one's
my favorite.
For the follow, we appreciate it. Ms. Snipes with the sub, we appreciate it. Dungeons, Dragons, Doggos with the follow. David Chrisman with the follow. I shouldn't use your name. And Empress88 with the follow. So we very much appreciate it. Please continue to do so. We always appreciate it. It means a lot to us, even follows, even if you're not even subbing. Just it's good to know that you guys are enjoying it. Always feel free to type in chat, or if you just want to sit back and turn on the TV and stay half awake, we're cool with it too. So thank you so much. Just know that we're going to keep this set up. If there's anything that you notice, like, hey, maybe Hold's voice is a little down, or maybe something's too bright, like some of the people were saying before, that's fantastic. Tell us, because then it's going to stay every session. It's going to be consistent. So we really appreciate it. So I hope you enjoyed the session. You're going to see us again next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in the meantime, if you want to be a part of our hosted channels, we host a bunch of channels. It's random throughout the weekend, and usually D&D or game themed. And if you want to be a part of it, send us a DM, send us a message, and we'll add you to the list and add us to ours, and it'll be this reciprocal relationship. So thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Dean.
It's going to fade out.
All right, very good. So appreciate you being here with us, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, as Moniker treks into the basement of the Spirit Within. And we all continue to loot, die, and repeat.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Good night, everybody.